Alright, here's my view. This is my field, and here's my pond. I got it fenced in so the nephew won't go in here, because when I dug this, we used the excavator, and we dug it straight down, so there's no sudden drop. It's just boom, drop. And, you know, I got this snow in here. There's birds all up in the trees and everything, but it's snowing right now. You can see it. And what I think is interesting is all the snow is starting to form a little bit of ice on the top. That is definitely not safe, because the weakest part is the snow. I mean, is the top layer, because it's part snow and has a little bit of water in it. It makes it weaker than just regular water turned to straight ice. Then you see all these little splotches in between it, where all these little dots are. That's just because there's these little. There's about 4 or 5 springs in here where the water is, and those are where they reach up. And there's also bubbles coming up too, because you can really see. You see down in there a little bit, down in my pond. You see the whole edge of the pond. Well, I guess you can't do it in this camera, but you can see down to the edges. You know, right here there's an edge right there, and you can see how it goes down a ways. I got some nice trout in here. About a month and a half ago, there's a bald eagle came in here, and she came down, went in my pond, and came out with a nice, you know, not a big trout, tell you what, and flew off that. She made it up over the fence and dropped the fish. She couldn't even make it any further, so she just sat there and ate it. And yeah, that kind of, you know, it was nice to see the bald eagle, and it was definitely a female because she has a wider wingspan, and she was definitely bigger. The males tend to be a little bit smaller, and their wingspan isn't as big and everything. So she was definitely female, and you know, she was I don't know, she's probably 2 or 3 years old female, and everything. She was, you know, really nice looking bird. She landed right on that post right there and everything. So, and you can see I have a spot right there. There's a spring coming in, and what it does is that spring comes in, but it brings some dirt in it with some nice, you know, some silt too. So I put it I took some mesh, which you can buy. You know, it's made to keep a lot of your, like, the grass growing from your garden. Just put it in there. You know, poke it with a needle, because sometimes the water can't go through because it's too big with molecules and everything. Poke it there, and it catches that silt, and it falls to the bottom right there, and you just pull it out and put it right in your garden, because that stuff's actually really dark, and it's I think it takes some of the peat from underneath the ground, and it brings it up. I think back in the day this used to be all swamp, because you can see there's a swamp right over there, you know, down over there past my field, and and all that silt comes up and everything. But it's actually pretty good for your garden. It keeps a lot of the moisture in the garden and everything, and it does bring up some nice nutrients. And over you know, I had that little tree growing in there. It's a little small tree, but it actually, in the day before I dug this, that tree was just starting out. Like it was like maybe, I don't know, 4 inches tall. And eventually I added a little dirt on the gully I have over here, that gully right there, so that it would bring up the water a little bit. So when it did, so I did have a dry spell, the water wouldn't go down to the point where it'd kill my fish and everything. But there is a little culvert pipe right there and everything, and I have a screen on it because you can't let the fish get out, because wildlife, you know, wardens would be over here and everything. So I had to put that on there. I had them come check it out and everything. And so yeah, everything's good here. And another thing is you know, take your kids out. You know, get them out here, and you know, it may be cold out, but if you dress them right, take them out for 10-15 minutes at a time, and you know, play with them. You know, go around, you know, let them throw snowballs. You know, make sure you don't have you know, like you just plowed the spot and there's, you know, banks, and they take the stuff from the banks, because then you have ice in it and rocks and stuff. But get them out, like if you have a field, bring them about halfway in the field, and just let them build like little forts and stuff, everything. Because that's what's important to them right now. When they're little, they don't see much past where they live and everything. They see school and everything like that, but they don't think in depth about everything. They think everything is cool and everything interesting, but they think that their backyard is the best thing ever. And if you let them enjoy that kind of stuff, they'll believe that longer, and I think you guys will be happy with your family if you do that. Well, also, what I wanted to tell you about is about the ice thickness. If because I'm gonna be going ice fishing, and I'll show you this later on in videos and stuff. If you decide to go out, on the ice and everything, there's things you definitely need to know. Like if you go out on a river, and there's like 7 or 8 inches of ice on a lake, obviously the river, since it's moving, is gonna have less ice. If there's like 10 inches of ice on the lake, there's gonna be 6 inches, or maybe even a little less on the river and everything. So, and if you're and definitely on the lake, there's these dinglings ride their trucks out there and everything, and it depends. Like myself, we used to. We still do every now and then, but we make sure there's at least a foot of ice, before we go out there. We check like halfway all the way through to where we get our truck on, and everything. Because there's these spots in the lake that might be warmer water than the other spots, and you have like maybe 7 inches of ice there. So if you have that 12 inches, it's a good happy medium. It keeps you safe. I usually just bring the 4-wheeler out in the ice. But if we're fishing a new spot, I'll go out there and check the whole distance and everything. Check all around. If I put my traps in, I'll check and see whether it's safe through all the holes. Because if I drill, me and my brother together, I drilled 10 holes, and I know that, and within that area, they're all the same area, like the same depth, like the holes and the thickness of the ice is the same. Then yeah, you can bring the truck out. But these dinglings, they just go straight out there and plow it through and just find new paths and everything, go out there by themselves, and that ain't right. And also, when you're out in the ice, don't go out by yourself, or if you do, make sure someone knows where you are. Because if you fall through, because this year in Maine, well, last year in Maine, a kid, he was out there at night with his snowmobile, and it was on China Lake, and he never came home. And apparently his snowmobile went through the ice, and they never found the body or anything. And a couple fishermen in the spring that we had, found his body. They caught it with a hook, and yeah. That weren't very good. That kid's parents were awful sad. I tell you what, they must have been. I tell you what, having the kid die like that, that's a lonely death. Because what happens is your body starts shutting down, and to keep yourself warm, your body shuts down. You're feeling to your hands first, because you don't need your hands to survive. Well, in that situation you do, because you have to be able to swim. But if you're out in the woods and you're getting hypothermia, they shut off the blood flow to your legs and everything and your arms, because it wants to keep the core temperature the same. And if someone's having hypothermia, don't take their shirt. Like if their shirt's wet, you got to cut it off them. Don't just lift the hands up and pull it off them, because when you lift that hands up, all that cold blood's gonna go right down to the heart and cool the core temperature down. And another thing is people don't realize that, hey, yeah, clothes, you put them on and everything, and they keep you warm. But all the clothes does is keep the heat that's there, like from your body, in. They don't realize that, hey, yeah, if I'm cold, they think, if I'm cold, put on a coat and I'll be warm. No. If you're still cold, it's because you ain't getting off enough body heat, or you didn't eat enough, and you ain't you ain't burning enough fat to do it. So keep those in mind and everything, and hopefully, if you guys go out ice fishing and stuff like that, you end up safe. Just take some simple reminders from me, and they're simple things, but they'll save you. All right. So good luck ice fishing. Good luck with everything, and don't be one of the dinglings that ends up in the water. All right. I'm Ivan Boyer. Be safe. Bring your kids out. Teach them life lessons.